Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere, and even earn money. We like that. All in one place for totally free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your cellular telephone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else, those other places that podcasts are heard.
Video podcasts are also available on Spotify, and when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&As and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free, zero catch. We've been using it ever since we started How Long Gone. And ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I feel like having the option of turning off the Q&As and the polls on the user dashboard has really helped boost my creativity and take it to another level. I highly recommend giving it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
What's up, bitch?
Hi, Chris. How are you? Good to see you again.
Well, you can't see me, but I'm great, Jason. How are you today?
We got a one-on-one pod. So yes, I can't see you. It is FaceTime audio only, no video. So
I do have a shirt on for you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Walk me through your shirt. Is it a navy blue polo?
Shockingly, yes, it is.
It is.
And honestly, the disrespect that this polo has received online from some of our listeners is not only hurtful but also harmful.
Hurtful and harmful. What is it? What is it harming?
I just need to personally stick up for the polo shirt. I feel like it gets a bad rap as a garment in general. I think that
because
the
it's like a startup bro uniform. We get it. You're an investor, and if you're not, then you're like a preppy rowing lacrosse kind of guy.
Yes, and I'm the latter. I wish, except I've never rowed or played lacrosse. But the lacrosse players have great traps. You know what I mean? So that's something to look forward to.
The trapezius muscle.
The trapezius muscle. They're quite wide, like the Winklevoss twins.
Right. The only trap that they've ever been a part of is the fantastic muscle that connects their neck to their shoulders.
This is a very different trap than we usually discuss on this show. But yeah, I just think
I trapped at Yale. Sorry, go ahead.
I just think the T-shirt has eclipsed the polo, and I think they're both valuable members of the closet.
I think the T-shirt has been more popular than the polo shirt for the last 100 years, at least.
Maybe. Depends on what circles you're in, TJ.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have a decent amount of polos in the closet. I
never see you rock a polo. I guess every once in a while you rock a sand-colored polo that really washes you out, but otherwise.
Well, I have navy, I have white, I have black, and I have a kind of darker gray khaki that I guess apparently washes me out.
Where and these are all different brands and manufacturers. There's not even a consistent fit or through line with this collection of polos.
We're all over the place, bitch.
Wow, that's actually crazy. I absolutely positively could not be me.
You would never. You only wear clothing from Uniqlo. That's what's going on.
No, but polo shirts, I think for the price and the amount of wear I get, and I want them to be washed and dried an extreme amount of times to be broken in properly, that Uniqlo is the most cost-effective and stylish solution for those needs.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would do that if they made them in tall sizes, but I haven't been able to find them.
Oh, I didn't realize that was... I always forget about your body issues.
Most people do.
Well, we try to because we want to normalize you, but unfortunately, that's something that's going to be more difficult.
Who's
for you.
we?
Society in general. You know what I mean?
Society in general wants to normalize heightists.
Well, I mean, you look crazy, like walking on the street, obviously, and a lot of people want to point that out to you. But as your friend, you know, and colleague, I don't want to do that. I want to make it seem like looking like Gumby is normal.
Damn, I feel like I'm the wheelchair friend right now. All of a sudden, I went from being a tall cis white male to a charity case, and
Well, Jason,
I'm finally
luckily,
home.
I was about to say, luckily in 2020 you can be both. You know, it's not those things are not mutually exclusive. So
Depending on what circles you run in.
Exactly, and I think depending on what circles you run in is kind of like the answer to everything really right now.
Or depending on which Discord rooms you are a member of.
Well, in my case, because I'm not a fucking nerd, I'm not a member of any of them. And you know, I'm getting a hard press to join the one where you talk into the phone, Clubhouse.
Yeah. What do you mean you're getting hard? Like your peers who are on it are saying like, hey, we got to get your loudmouth ass on Clubhouse?
Yes, and I'm starting to think they're getting paid by big Clubhouse or something. Like they're on the take. You know what I mean? They're on the take to get influencers of note.
So big tech app developer. We're test flighting this application where a bunch of leaders of the industry talk into their phone, and then other people listen. They need you there, and there's a bounty
Jason,
on your head.
Jason, I think you said it yourself. Leaders of industry. So therefore, I'm involved in those conversations.
Right.
What industry? It could be many. I don't even know.
Unfortunately, unfortunately for you, I think they just want to pick your brain right now, Chris. I don't know if the bag is coming.
I don't think it's bag related. I think it's like those type of people love to just exchange ideas freely in a new forum.
You talking about bosses and kings?
Yeah.
Because ladies is pimps too, and they can also get a pop in on Clubhouse to exchange ideas.
I think Clubhouse and its popularity, unfortunately, is full of guys who wear puffy vests. I mean, but people we know are on it. People I know, like, and respect are on it. I did sign up, and unfortunately, during the sign up process, I just wasn't concentrating, and I made an error, and I locked in the name, but it's Chris Black with no K, so it's just with a C. so I can't use that. That's unusable. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's your fucking Postal Service message board login name?
Yeah, dude. It's like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So
I'm going to start calling you Chris Blanc.
No, so I guess I have to hit. So someone at Clubhouse Corporate, please holler at me if you listen to this podcast, and if we can get my full name changed, I'll think about using your little application.
So you're dumbass. Okay. Well, we should explain what Clubhouse is for all of the normies listening who are unaware. They're not a member of the tech elite Illuminati.
Go ahead and explain it because I don't know.
I also have it, but I have yet to use it. I get push notifications every day letting me know that a guy with the puppy vest started following me. But and shout out, thanks to everyone on Clubhouse. You guys rock. It's like it's a place where it's an audio only community where people have conversations and in these little audio rooms, and then you're able to listen in on them as a spectator.
But I think I don't know if you can. I mean, I heard from a friend that Virgil Abloh said, released some information, that he was making a new silhouette for Nike, which is like big news in a Clubhouse session. But I don't know if Clubhouse sessions. I don't know if you can just.
We announced the silhouette in a Clubhouse session.
Well, not. He didn't explain it fully. He just said what's coming, baby. Exactly. I mean, but that's why Clubhouse is getting these big tech bucks. But I don't understand.
Do you think that the news of that happening, him making that announcement in Clubhouse, was a premeditated, organized thing?
No.
Or do you think that happened organically?
No, I think DJ Virgil was just going off the motherfucking dome like he was at, he was in Ibiza off a bean.
He was excited to let some new silhouette news spray in the Clubhouse, and boy did he.
Yes. He decided to bypass a footwear news exclusive and go straight to Clubhouse to release the information himself. It's called taking control of the fucking narrative, is what we call that in the communications world. It's owning your story and not letting someone else tell it for you.
To not give that exclusive to footwearnews.com, it takes a lot of restraint, and that's why he's kind of at the top of his game right now.
Jason, Jason, I'm not going to let you sit here and slander Footwear News, a widely known industry publication. It's the Hollywood Reporter of footwear.
Is that right? I mean,
yes.
You could be absolutely not joking right now, and
I'm not joking at all. I mean, I don't read it, but I actually had a conversation about this last night at an outdoor dinner with Lauren Sherman and Dan Frommer.
Do not say at an outdoor dinner, you fucking super spreader. We know what was going on.
It was actually outdoors.
How did they like the wine selections, by the way?
They were very excited about the wine selections. I think they were already a fan of the orange one that you picked out.
The Mein Klang.
Yeah, they had the other one. I also bought an extra bottle of Mein Klein just to keep on ice here at the hotel in case I need to show up with a gift. You know?
No, that's smart. You're becoming an Angelina. I'm surprised they didn't try to get you to drink a bottle of House, a non-alcoholic startup drink.
I hate non-alcoholic drinks. I guess does water count as a non-alcoholic drink, or because
no.
We've talked about this before, but the spread of non-alcoholic drinks is so unnecessary and just depressing to me.
It's America's poison.
I mean, but Lauren did have something that I'd never seen before, which is a La Croix, but it's cola flavored.
Ooh, sounds Canadian.
She liked it. I'd never seen it before. I didn't try one because I just was unclear on what it was.
Cola flavored La Croix. I mean,
but that's like, what is that? Just means it's a Coke? Like, I don't understand. It's sparkling water so it's like watered down Coke that's sitting in a glass of ice.
We took water and we carbonated it, which adds, we add air to it, and that will make it kind of fizzy. And then we add flavor from the cola nut. It's kind of a new idea.
I would really like to get nuts.com as a sponsor for this fucking podcast.
Good luck, bro.
I mean, I feel like they're in the zone. I mean, I feel like we could push Big Nut on this podcast. What? Why is that funny, Jason? You wouldn't want to get paid and also get a discount on almonds, like on sprouted almonds. Those are very expensive.
I love sprouted almonds. Let me tell you.
Why do they taste so much better? Do you have the science behind that? Because they really do hit different. The texture, everything about it is just exquisite.
It's simply just the preparation. I mean, I was just laughing because you said two words next to each other, which were big nut, and that just made me chuckle, regardless of...
Grow up, Jason.
Of the
Grow the
context.
fuck up. My God. We're talking about making money here. We're not talking about the kind of nut you're talking about, you little freak.
I think that the sprouted nut has to do with the way that it is prepared. And I think it's soaked in a liquid for a little while, and then maybe it's like dried in a specific way, but it kind of makes it first of all, it really improves that mouthfeel. But it gives you a little bit of a snap in between a raw and a roasted that is pleasant on the palate.
They're a little bit hard to... I mean, they have them at Whole Foods, correct? They have them at like a regular health food store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's the kind of thing I'd want to buy in bulk because it would feel great to spend like $100, on a bag of nuts that would show up and it wouldn't be that big.
It would not. No, I mean, if you $100 worth of sprouted nuts at Erewhon, that's going to be 2 handfuls worth.
Damn.
And worth every penny.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't.
We're going to get into Erewhon later on in this pod. Don't worry. But I think.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to. I mean,
pander to me, TJ.
Are
pander
we?
To me.
I mean, is anybody listening to this on Clubhouse? I want to learn more about it. I want to know if it's something that we can use with this podcast.
Well, I was invited by friend of the show, Gian De Leon from High Snobiety. Benjamin Edgar, also a friend of the show, is on it. And Ben Dietz, another friend of the show, is on it. Those are the 3 people I know on it. And they are loosely connected to Startup World, of course, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of dorky friends who are on this app, and they all have a lot more money than we do.
Do you think if we were dorks, we would be rich? Or do you think it's too far? It's like we're too cool already?
No amount of dorkiness could make us uncool enough to be rich.
That's kind of what I think too. So I'm happy to be like, well, I don't, rich means different things, Jason. It's a sliding scale. I don't need to be super rich, and unfortunately, old money is out of the question because that's not the way I was born. Okay. So just regular, like
you
kind of a
you
classic.
can still inherit.
What am I going to inherit? A Honda Accord? Like, what the fuck am I going to inherit?
Who knows? Like anything is possible in this crazy
Do you think
world.
do you think my dad's keeping some shit tucked?
Well, I don't think it's your dad specifically, but you might come into.
Oh, well, if you die, I'm gonna get left some fucking big worn out shoes. Like what am I gonna, what the fuck am I gonna get? Who's gonna leave me anything?
It's
no one likes me. Like what am I gonna get?
They are new old stock, and they are worth something on casual mail resale market, bitch. No, I'm anything like. So I have a neighbor. Like our neighbor is this very sweet old man who's like.
How close is he to dying? That's the question.
He's
any day.
He's a few years away from like hitting 90.
So you're putting in a lot of work now in this relationship.
I'm putting in a decent amount of work, but like he's like a very, very sweet old guy. He goes out and gardens every day, and we talk, and he's just great. Like best neighbor you could ever think of. But at some point, if he has no family and he likes TJ a lot. Who's to say when he goes, the house is not willed to me?
I can say that. There's no fucking way this guy barely knows your ass. Even if he dies in 2 or 3 years, like how much time can you spend with this guy? He's not going to leave you a fucking house.
Okay,
Jason.
riddle me this.
Yes.
You've seen the Curb Your Enthusiasm Spite Store episode, right?
Yes, actually,
where he opens up the Latte Larry's in spite of Mocha Joe's. Just to take him down. So let's say my neighbor he has 3 kids, and they're all terrible people, and he hates them. So sure. he could will his home to
them,
to Big TJ. Just to spite them for being shitty.
So his children by birth that he created himself.
Yeah, they have Mocha become Joe. Monsters who have treated him horribly over the years.
So these people are convicted of elder abuse, and his neighbor,
Bingo.
This goofy fuck up, is flopping around next door. You become friends, and now you're Latte Larry, and you're getting the.
Bro, I am not flopping around.
What would you say you're doing?
I am
gracefully moving like a swan.
I am commanding the turf with a strong and frankly sexy presence.
First of all, cutting the sleeves off your shirt doesn't make you sexy. Second of all, it's not turf; it's actually natural grass.
What if somebody else cuts them off for me? Is that a step up?
No, I mean I know you're trying to show off your vascular biceps, which I appreciate, and I love to see you thriving. But
doesn't feel like it.
I don't think either of us are getting anything in anybody's will. But if it was going to happen to anyone, it would definitely be me before you.
Really? You don't think that you're ever going to? I mean,
I'll get something, but I'm saying something. I'm not going to get like anything life changing.
I have never been willed anything in my life.
Well, me neither. But we're also fairly young.
Yeah, there's a good chance that I won't as well.
I don't. I'll definitely get something. I don't know what that will be, but I mean, I don't know now that my sister had those twins. My status in the family is I don't know if it's fallen. I think I'm still the Beyonce, but I think it's going to take a hit as they age.
Well, being the Beyonce in the family as it pertains to wheeling items and wealth is not a good place to be. If I come into some wealth and I need to hand it out to a deserving mouth who needs it the most, I'm not giving it to the Beyonce of the family. You're INDEPND. You pay your own car note and your bills are paid on time. You don't need my fucking help.
Well, it's not about that, Jason. It's about legacy, and
expand on that, brother.
These two. I mean, adorable babies are, unfortunately, they don't carry the black name. So you tell me, Jason. It's the name could die with me, and that's cute great power that I hold.
But a black you are not.
Exactly. Like that's.
I didn't think
cute.
about it that way.
Yeah, well, you don't. I understand. You don't think about legacy as much as I do. You don't. You're kind of.
I don't need to think about legacy as much as you do because I haven't taken a staunch stance against being a birther like you have. So it's not a thing that's on my mind at all times like yours, keeping you up at night.
Jason, as much time as we spend together, as much time as we speak to each other, I rarely know what is on your mind. So this is not a shock or to me, and probably not even a shock to the listeners. What goes on in there? It could be anybody's guess. You know what I mean? Is he thinking about fucking almonds? Is he thinking about salad sauce? Is he thinking about kettlebells? There's only a few subjects I can even think of that you care about.
Yeah, the hard drive clicking away inside of this body, she does not hold terabytes, that's for sure.
No, it's a small. I would say you're more of like a late night. You're a late 90s
16 gig.
You're a late 90s zip drive, I would say. Actually, is maybe.
Don't come for a big zip. Zip got
I love
me through
big
a lot. In a lot.
Big zip.
I don't like to. I like to deprive my audience of emotion or anything, and then strike with something just to amuse myself, really. Which is not very good in the grand scheme of.
That's a fair description of your behavior that I've seen over our long and tenuous friendship. But that's not a surprise. That's not a surprise to me at all. But look, as long as there's something going on up there, that makes me feel good because I don't, a muscle of the brain size should not be rested as much as yours is. So.
Oh, well, I mean, much like the trapdoor spider or something, I only appear to be at rest.
I see.
This is just to deter you, and then I can strike when you least expect it and really just knock your socks off. Well,
I've been waiting for like 12 years, I think, now for a strike, so I guess I'll keep waiting.
Bitch, I strike every day. You cackle away all day long.
I guess if it's humor related, yes, you do strike. Anything else I'm not seeing, but yes, humor related, you are striking hard.
Okay. Well, better than nothing.
Exactly. We all have specialties. We all specialize.
So I did go to Erewhon yesterday, and I haven't been inside of an Erewhon in a long time, actually.
Too bad for you, loser.
And I always took a pretty strong opposition to Erewhon because it wasn't the type of market for me. I believed that all of their pre-made foods were ridiculously overpriced and not very good.
Cheap TJ strikes again. Continue.
I thought their selection of produce and meats were all show and no go. Also ridiculously overpriced and not very high quality, which I still stand by. But I went to the Pacific Palisades location, which is it's an abridged version of.
Why don't you tell?
It only plays the hits.
Why don't you tell the listeners though who put you on?
Who told me that Erewhon has a location in the Palisades?
Yes, Jason. Who?
I guess that was you. If it wasn't for you, I would have not ever known that they had one. That is true.
Thank you.
And you, it was weird because I've never even heard of the Pacific Palisades. I guess there's on the west side of LA. There's a whole big ocean and stuff. And
Jason, I will slap you through the phone, Soldier Boy voice.
And they
don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm just trying to say that I went there. I had a good experience. This is actually what influencing means. Okay, I went somewhere. I had a good experience. I relayed that to my influential, much less so, but influential friend. And now he went, and now we're talking about it, and the chain continues. But tell us, let's walk us through your experience because you're right. It is a smaller. Compared to the Beverly location. It's small and quaint. It feels, I would even say, neighborhoody.
It is very neighborhoody, and I saw many people in there, purchase their goods and then walk out.
Hotties though, or no?
Come on, Chris. You know it was full of fucking hotties, you idiot. Do you have to make me say it out loud?
I wanted to make you say it out loud, but I know the answer. Continue.
Only chicks though, no hot dudes. Which was interesting. I guess the fellas in PP aren't really pulling up to Erewhon, or they're just not that hot, or they're old. I don't know.
All of the above.
Yeah, it was. I just felt different being in there. I started to understand it, where the selection of things is just really ridiculous, and the way that everything is packaged and laid out, there's a very specific rhyme and reason to how and why it's happening that way. And I decided to stop fighting it and just let it wash over me, and I experienced pleasure yesterday. That's for sure.
I love to see this growth. And can you tell us what you purchased?
Yeah, I mean,
And don't say nothing, bitch. I would be mad as hell.
Come on, bro. I copped it. I mean, I was there. I said there's a bottle of water that cost $26. And you did just to be clear, you did not buy that for me. I did not buy that for you. There's a bag of sweet potato crisps, like I guess they're like freeze dried, like dehydrated sweet potato chips.
You mean like to have with a pint?
Mm-hmm. An 8-ounce bag, $23.99.
Sweet potatoes are expensive, Jason. Come on.
No. Do you know how much one potato weighs? 8 ounces.
I don't get caught up in this bullshit math, Jason. But you noticed these because why, Jason? Because you wanted to buy them, or what did you notice first? The attraction.
I noticed how the bag, like the packaging of the sweet potato snacks that cost $24, was appeared to be made like by my mom on MS Paint. It was a very, very terrible design. It was on my Instagram stories just yesterday. The brand is called Sweet Potato Awesome.
Well, the name leaves a lot to be desired. I would love to try the snack. As you know, Jason, I'm the healthy snack whisperer. No one can pick out a healthy snack off rip like me.
You are pretty good. I also
for a non-food person, I'm excellent.
For somebody who does not really eat, your ability to find a healthy snack is you're like a truffle sniffing dog if it comes to a kale flavored chip.
As you said that, my stomach growled, and it gave me great pleasure.
Shout outs to my friend Olivia, who put me on to the Erewhon carrot cake, which I slid into yesterday.
So you're saying you drove to the Palisades, this beautiful Caruso-owned Paradise Mall.
That's right.
And you had a piece of fucking carrot cake?
What am I going to do? Get some soggy fried buffalo cauliflower that was made 2 days ago? That's like
that shit is hot fire. So what? So you literally that's what you had it yesterday.
Okay, so I got a bag of kale flavored cheesy Voyager chips. I got a slice of carrot cake, and I got a macadamia nut latte from Taika. This is
a demented combo of items.
I'm never going to get any of the the hot food or the salad bar food there. That is like an abomination of food, if you ask me.
It's my favorite restaurant. Getting some Japanese sweet potatoes, some buffalo cauliflower, and a kale white bean avocado salad. What's better than that?
So many things are better than that.
So did you sit outside?
No. We just grabbed it. We just went in there, dicked around. Treated it like a museum or something. Looked at all the funny stuff. Did
you hit the beach?
Did not hit the beach. Went to Italy afterwards, and then copped actual food.
So you're saying to me yesterday on your day off, I mean, I guess every day is your fucking day off. You went to 2 different grocery stores.
Every day is not my day off, Chris.
You went to 2 grocery stores on the opposite side of town. That's what TJ thinks is fun.
Dude, we're in the middle of a quarantine, and you have to keep things spicy. You have to do stuff that's different. So the only thing that I'm interested in is eating for sport, apparently. So that's the type of stuff that I want to do. I mean, you go to Erewhon and you sit there and eat like a tired bowl of buffalo cauliflower and a fucking bean salad that costs $89. And then I go $15. Jesus Christ. And then I go to and I go cop some excellent arugula for $4. That's like made from a farm that I know the guy from. Make a delicious vinaigrette. I'm eating like a king. That's the way I would prefer to do it.
Well, that actually reminds me, what night works for you to have me over for dinner this week? Just let me know.
Okay. Maybe, it could be as early as tomorrow, Chris.
Well, I hope you have some vinaigrette left and some arugula, because I love a spicy green.
I got you, bro. Yeah, we'll have to talk offline about that. But yeah, it was weird going to that part of LA. I haven't really hung out in like the Brentwood area, Palisades area in a while. It just doesn't even. It felt like Glendale by the sea in a way, because some of the areas very, very, very nice, crazy ass houses, beautiful wild mansions, but a lot of it was just kind of like regular single family homes, you know.
I hadn't been to the Palisades in years and years until I went like a couple weeks ago, and I liked
Since
it.
your coat guy died, you haven't been there in a while.
Exactly. I don't
Rest in peace, Big Steve. Sorry, bro.
I also don't need to go there ever again.
Nobody does.
It's nice. I can't explain it, but it's a lot of, at least when we were there, it was like a Sunday afternoon. It was like a lot of teenage girls. Like it felt like you were at a mall, because it is a mall, which you forget because you're outside and it's so nice.
Yeah, the whole city is a mall, but but it has like a Martha's Vineyard, like Hamptons kind of energy, but Cali style, in a way where like all the stores offer like useless junk that you just buy to pass the time and then talk to your friends about when you have wine and stuff. Like I got this new like mantle piece made out of a shell type shit, you know?
Yeah, well, that would probably, I mean, you fit in well there as a Tesla person. You know what I mean? It feels like the whole thing is very Tesla energy.
I was hoping I would have really liked to have like a vintage Ford Bronco where I could really have the tank top and a leg hanging out the side, and really just throw in some revs to the hotties at the red lights.
God. It is really weird down there, though. It just feels like time doesn't move. I can't explain it. It's like a true netherworld of like, I guess everybody's rich and like relatively good looking, and like you're just buying stuff. Yeah, I mean, they're wearing masks. It wasn't super insane.
Life is very easy over there, and it is. I mean, it was. We hung out there for a half an hour, and that's all we needed. But just to, you know, those are the types of things that you have to do in the COVID to just break up the monotony of your everyday life.
You're right. Some of us work. Some of us get better at athletic pursuits, and some of us drive to a grocery store. Everybody's different, you know, and I get that. I really understand that, and that's something that COVID has opened my eyes to, is just the differences in.
So you think the only thing that I did yesterday was drive to a grocery store? You little fucking piece of shit.
I would say that's not the only thing you did, because you might have showered.
That was my hero activation for the day, though.
That was definitely your hero activation for the day. No clay. We all have hero activations for the day. Like my hero activation for the day is usually sports related, which is also not great.
Well, I mean, you know, Chris, we all can't talk about or, you know, spend hours writing about a good new socks to buy, but you know, we're all swimming in our own different sea, and we're all on our own journey. There are also different soap that you can buy, and that's another thing to work on and write about. And
Jason, my being rewarded for my excellent taste that has taken years and years to cultivate is not something to joke about. And you know, I don't need this fucking podcast. So if you're going to talk to me like that, I can keep it pressing. You know what I mean? So you know.
Oh, there we go.
Big CB ain't scared to go the Bill Burr route and just talk for an hour into the mic. You know what I mean?
Like, I think you are, Chris. You're even too scared to do one-on-one pods. You need the bumper bowling or the training wheels of a guest to ask them, you know, take me back to the start. Where did you get the bug? Where'd you get the acting bug?
So who are your guys? You know, like, who are your guys?
Or girls?
Or girls. I wonder if Mark Maron has changed his classic "Who are your guys" to "Who are your people."
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to. You went to Idaho State. Yeah, knew it. Yeah, you kind of have that vibe.
It's a great vibe. I mean, you have to get to the bottom of people, Jason. Which is, I think you're more of like a topical guy.
Well, I want to know what is going on in the future. What's the next move? I don't need to know, you know, who your guys were in '76, and I don't need to know your audition tape story for UCB.
Well, that's the problem. First of all, you don't love comedy like I do, which is a huge problem for you. But
the last cool thing that did happen to me there was I was walking past Sun Life Organics, a smoothie and acai destination that you're very familiar with.
The Wolverine is the best smoothie in the world.
The Wolverine, and I also recently learned from our friend Jake, only sitting at 200 calories. Is that possible?
You know, Jason, I didn't even know that, but isn't that just kismet that that's what I was drawn to based on taste, and then it's also the healthiest? It's uncanny, incredible.
200 calories for a smoothie that contains a nut butter. I almost don't believe it.
Jason,
It
this
don't
is the
add
problem
up.
with you. Your skeptical energy is bringing me down. Okay,
Look,
so
Chris, well, you know this about me. I'm a numbers guy, first and foremost.
oh yeah, you're a real number. You're a real numbers guy. All right.
And when I also am a nut guy, and I know that nut butter and calories, those are two peas in a pod.
They do. They add up together.
So I smell a rat there, but we'll explore that later. I was walking past Sun Life, and then Meadow Soprano, none other than,
God,
posted up feeding her young child a bowl
This
of
is Soprano-
acai in the
this is
Palisades sun.
This is Sopranos free podcast. Please, for the love of God, can I please? This is the one place I go to hide from Sopranos content.
Are you really that much of an anti pranny daddy?
First of all, do not call it pranny. No, I'm not. I just think
Not
it's
for
been-
nothing, Chris, but I'd like to know more. Please expand.
I just can't believe how fetishized it is. It's so tired. It's exhausting. How many fucking, I mean, you know how angry I am about that stupid James Gandolfini fucking Green Day story. I can't believe that people care this much.
Well, this might be how people feel about you. Like, is it safe to say that Sienna Miller is your Sopranos?
I don't think.
Do you think there's people out there who are like, gosh, I really don't need to hear Chris Black
Yes, Jason,
talk
but
about Sienna Miller anymore?
I'm one person talking about a classic British beauty who will eventually win an Oscar. I'm not the entire world collectively jerking off to a show that came out and ended 20 years ago. Like, it's just, why is it happening? What is the anthropological reasons for this to be in the last like year and a half, 2 years? Like,
Because the show is hot fire. That's why. And then,
I'm not saying the show isn't hot fire.
The streaming part of it, and it was what really did it. I think once everybody was streaming and they had access
it fully
to it,
came available.
then it's kind of it's like why is the White Album or Pet Sounds or whatever still sell hundreds of thousands of copies every year, because every year a new generation comes out and then they listen to it, they watch The Sopranos, it's just sitting there free on their TV.
It's not free; they're paying for it. But what I'm saying is, I don't think
their mom pays for it or whatever.
That's more accurate. I don't think the Sopranos is fine. It's totally fine. But I think that it being like, it's the memes and the talk. And I love Michael Imperioli. I want him to get me pregnant. Like, it's just like, it's like Michael Imperioli goes on some radio show and he likes the Stooges or something. And people are like,
can you
so
believe this
cool.
guy freaking likes My Bloody Valentine?
It's like, dude, liking good music is not, you should not be rewarded for that if you're famous. You have nothing but time to research this stuff.
I agree with you on the Imperioli, because they were doing a bunch of podcasts to plug their podcast, him and the other guy, the Bacala.
Oh yeah, they have a podcast.
They have a podcast.
First of all, don't come for, again, like, you guys are rich. Like, you're getting, don't come for our zone. This is our
I don't
zone.
know if I would call those guys rich.
Oh, I bet they're rich. If they had good contracts on residuals, they should be rich.
I don't know. I mean, they were supporting roles. I know that they had like a failed mozzarella company or like a marinara sauce that didn't go well.
Up.
No, they really did have a sauce business that went out of business. I don't
Like,
think
that's what I mean. That we can't reward that kind of behavior. Like, we cannot reward that.
But I was listening to them, and they're just like, they what do you do when you're in that situation, because you're this beloved character? They're like, oh, he's kind of hot, whatever. He likes listening to 90s music like Luna or My Bloody Valentine or something, and you idolize these people and these characters, and then when you hear them talk, they're often like kind of problematic, and they're like, not all cops are bad cops. Like, they're like go on podcasts and say shit like that, and nobody told them like, hey guys, like, just don't,
No, dude, he sounds like a fucking guy that works at a record store in New Jersey. Like, I can't get excited about this.
He's a real thespian.
I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. But I guess people could say the same thing about Sex and the City, but that's a show that I like more.
No.
So I give it a pass. But also, I think that they aren't out, like, there's not so many auxiliary cast members to embarrass themselves on the internet the way that Sex and the City is 4 people, basically.
It's a shame that Gandolfini passed away, of course, but if he was still alive now, I think it could arguably be even worse.
Oh, it would be terrible.
I think the fact
honestly,
that he is no longer with us, God rest his soul, is keeping the fanfare and the annoyance down a little bit, just out of respect to the dead.
I mean, that story. I also Stereo Gun posted about that Green Day story, and I responded to their posts like, "Please stop talking about this non-story," and people went crazy on me.
What is the story? What is the story, really quick?
The story is that he liked Green Day. He listened to Dookie. This is really something. It has been a 6-day news cycle of people talking about him listening to Dookie in his trailer on vinyl. And you know who's responsible for this fucking story? Michael Imperioli.
And so, like, him on his podcast or something was talking about back in the day, Jim, I'd pop into his trailer and, not for nothing, but he'd be blasting Dookie on vinyl. And, he had it on green vinyl.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, wait, guys, like, liking Green Day is not cool. Liking vinyl is really not cool. So but because this famous actor that you like from a TV show liked it, it's cool? That's not how this works. Like, it's not cool.
It is not cool. It is not cool at all. And I'm sure Gandolfini probably would like to be remembered for listening to better music than Dookie. Dookie was a fine record when it came out, when, I was a youngster. And, being like fucking 13 years old and listening to Green Day hits different than being a full grown-ass man.
But maybe Jason, just putting this out there, maybe Jim wants to be remembered as like an actor. You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't want to be remembered for having bad taste in music or taste in music at all. Like, why do we need to see, like, basically anytime you pull the curtain back on any one of these people, they're fucking lame. I'd rather not know. I would rather not know.
Well, I think the problem is, the way that news happens nowadays is we're just absorbing items that we can discuss at our next natural wine mixer, or the next time we're just hanging out with somebody we have nothing to talk about. That is something, if you're a lay person, is noteworthy and newsworthy, and you can potentially mine 5 minutes of conversation out of talking about that versus hey, wasn't Gandolfini a good actor on this episode, or whatever?
Exactly. Like there's real news today. Like Andy Bell, a member of Ride and former member of Oasis, put out a solo song. See, that's good information. That's news that we can really sink our teeth into.
That's news that Chris and 4 other people somewhere in Scotland are really, really, really interested in.
Look, I understand that what I like is not for everybody, but I mean, truly that Gandolfini thing is absolutely insane.
Well,
The Green Day thing is absolutely insane. It's gone on for 5 days, and multiple websites are posting about it, and there's nothing about it that is interesting or cool at all.
So the whole story is that he used to listen to Green Day, Dookie on vinyl in his trailer while they were filming The Sopranos.
I guess.
And then Imperioli ratted him out.
Yes.
Because not to use a colloquialism from their mafioso background, but
exactly.
He dimed a dead man out for playing
Jesus
Dookie.
Christ. Also, though, America's obsession with mafia culture is I mean, that's a deeper thing to unpack, but like I don't really get the romanticism of that whole thing too.
Actually, I was listening to Neil Brennan's podcast, and he was talking about that. He was saying that mafia culture is basically like black hip hop culture for white people who don't want to like be interested in black gangster culture.
Damn, that's actually an interesting take on that.
That's an interesting take. I mean, people really are. They be loving. I mean, what's not to love? You get to lead a life of crime, a glamorous existence for all the pros and the cons. You get to kill people. prostitution, blah blah blah.
I have no interest in it at all. Like all those movies, it's like it's all fine to me, but I can't I'm not getting a chub for Goodfellas 3.
Neither am I.
I just don't care. Like I would rather watch West Wing or something. To me is more interesting.
We know.
And more nuanced and also based in like some sort of reality.
Chris, I would rather read a smart article in the New Yorker than watch some of that dumb stuff.
I don't think it's dumb. That's not what I'm saying. I think it's like, I mean, those movies and these shows are absolutely classic, like hang the jersey in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. I just think that the romanticism of mafia stuff is a deeper thing that should be explored in this country versus just I like movies where they sell coke and kill each other. TJ on his little Ebert.
For my version of Sopranos for you is probably Friends, the television show. That is. I
mean, I hate that too.
That is one where it's just like. It's just so bad and so dumb, and I get really mad when every single person is obsessed with it.
But I think Friends being so dumb, I think it like encapsulates that time period kind of well. Like it was such a very different time in this country where like no one had a care in the world. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it kind of feels like that. And I think that the reason young people but it's the same issue, Jason. It's like it went on Netflix and it became a thing. You know, there wasn't Friends parody T-shirts in Urban Outfitters until it hit Netflix. Of course, big Netflix is always the problem. Is the point? But I think that young people look at that as like. So it's so different to them. It's like something to like pine for almost like this, like no care in the world. I just hang out with my friends and have these misadventures every day in a giant apartment in the West Village. You know, it's like, it's so not based in reality, but it looks like, you know, they made it look and seem as real as they could. But I do think it's like the you know, harshness of the world had not set in yet. So I think if you're 22 and you know put down the Billie Eilish suicide music for an hour and pick up some Friends, it's an escape. You know what I mean? It's like an escape for you the way that maybe The Sopranos is for adults.
Yeah, I think people and then maybe people our age like to put it on and just I know a lot of people that like to just put it on and have it on in the background just playing, just a loop of Friends always playing. As like a weird comforting thing. Do you know people like that?
I know people that do stuff like that. I have
it seems really dark. Like you can't just be with your own thoughts or alone.
I don't turn the TV on until after
dinner time.
After the sun is down. Yeah, I think watching TV in the middle of the day, as a person who works for themselves, that's the kiss of death.
It is the kiss of death. Because as soon as you fire up that Bravo at 2 p.m., you know, then, you know, taking that Xanax might not be such a bad idea.
You know where my head's going.
We're
TJ.
Eating chips. We're snacking.
We're snorting. Who knows? Like I you know, it's truly a myriad of issues that could arise.
How long gone? Pro tip number 5,863. Never watch TV in the daytime. What about on a Sunday though?
I honestly don't. I'm not now. I have a giant TV in this room, and I've watched a little. I've watched a little bit of basketball to try to understand why people care about it, and that's kind of it. And I've watched some. You know, I've plugged in. You know, actually, this is really funny. I was setting up the Apple TV in the hotel room and like logging into trying to log into my account, and the previous person that stayed in this room, their email address came up, and it's somebody I know. Isn't that crazy?
The elite Illuminati world is a small world, isn't it?
It's a small world, but I was like, damn, I know this motherfucker. That's really funny. And then I texted and figured out, you know, they stayed here while they were renovating their house, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it was a funny twist. But have you tried to watch this NBA bubble stuff?
No, not at all.
It's actually it's insane how stupid the fake digital fans are, and I don't know why they don't just get rid of it and like let these guys play basketball. I really don't. It's really strange.
So they will kind of just like take like the Tupac hologram version of a fan in the
Worse than that,
at
yeah.
home watching it.
I believe no. You pay to have like your seat to be in a seat.
Okay,
is what I understand. So there's some sort of digital version of you sitting in a seat that you're paying for. So
but
obviously,
is it a live feed or is it just like a static image?
I believe it's a static image.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't do a live feed because then you can be doing something offensive or illegal.
Yes, exactly. So I believe this is a money making venture is part of it, and also like fan participation. But I just don't.
It's kind of has cameo energy. Like somebody
Jason,
who would pay money to have a
Yes.
picture of themselves like in the back stands of a game.
And I don't know. I just tried it because everybody's talking about it. But I don't. I'm good on that.
Well, I mean, I meant more so the cameo in that it seems like a great gift to give somebody to buy them a seat at a game and
Yes.
then take like a very embarrassing or terrible photo of that person. Maybe the photo had been photoshopped into a less than enjoyable situation for the
I
for
feel
the
like
person.
Jason. I feel like you're getting some ideas about something to do to me, and I don't love it.
I'm a member of the Adobe Creative Cloud suite, and I have the technology. As you know, I wield the power to put you in the most unsavory of uniforms, outfits, and predicaments.
You did bless me though last week with the extremely timely, where you put me in Jake Paul's pool with the sniper rifle leaning against it, and for that I thank you. That did very well for me. That was very timely,
good.
and very very funny, and I love when you guys are able to whip that stuff together.
Your content team can come through.
Well, the chat that we have with Yimothy Yayo and David Cho, it's more of a workshop. Where I'm able to send images in, and within minutes, someone has done what I asked. It's magic. It's like a free assistant.
Yeah, we're your hype team, and
Our hype house is merely a chat and three guys that two of them are playing video games and have Photoshop open in the other window.
your funny gif if it pleases the Lord. And then we
Exactly.
present it to you, and then you just put it out into the world, and we don't get any credit, and that's fine.
I mean, that's not how this works, Jason. When I go out on stage every night, with my late night show and do a monologue, do I have to? Am I credit? What is this squirrel? Do I have to credit every joke?
Damn, I forgot about Squirrel already. The news cycle moves fast. You in your wonderful house that you're staying at, your villa, I should say.
It's not a villa. It's merely a room. But thank you.
Your room in the villa, small room.
Tiny.
You said you have Peloton. How are
Yeah.
you liking the Peloton? We need the Peloton review.
Well, I mean, I've made fun of Peloton because it at first glance,
What's
it's
not to make fun of?
It's a fat rich guy's clothes hanger for his fourth bedroom, as I said in the newsletter. But it's just like any other group fitness thing. The instructors are insufferably corny. The workout is good.
Are they hot though?
Not even that hot. They're fine,
Not your style.
But I do think I've done it twice now. I've done a 45-minute followed by a 10-minute arm session, and then a 30-minute hit followed by a 10-minute arm session. And I'm fucking drenched with sweat, which is really all you want out of that. But the calorie burn is not it. It's compared to running, it's half, if not less. Oof. And if I'm gonna expend any effort, I want the most calories lost possible.
What is your calorie goal for every day?
I don't know. I don't do that. But when I run, it's looking like between 1,000 and 1,200, which is and then if there's tennis on top of that, it's probably another 800 to 1,000. I don't know,
That's
bro.
good. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The thing about the Peloton that I do understand now and why it's popular, I think, is there's data that's like pretty real, and there's also a leaderboard, which I think that level of like even just light competition can keep people engaged and make it worth spending. I don't think the price is that crazy for what it is after using it.
And the leaderboard is for like everybody in the world, right? Not just.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done a live class. That seems a bit much. But the music, dude, these guys, why can't anyone play good music? It's fucking crazy.
Well, let's have a meeting with Peloton.
I represent DJ Them Jeans. He's looking to make some mixes for these Peloton hit sessions.
Yeah, I'm looking to musically supervise and curate some some Peloton classes.
Sir, we can't. No. There can't be a 45-minute burial ride. That's not gonna work.
Dude,
that's not gonna work.
I mean, it could work.
Okay, I think that's actually a good task for you. Is you create a 45-minute burial playlist for exercise, and let's see if it can keep the heart rate up.
Yeah, some people are like, we're doing hill climbs today. We're getting out of the saddle, and then today I'm like, we are riding down a rainy hill. Just trying to hold on for one more day.
What is the opposite of Kate, but running up that hill? We're running down that hill into the valley.
We're riding down that soggy hill. Thanks to our friend Burial.
But I have to say, I like it. I don't see the point in buying one, and I don't think if I'm going to do a group exercise, I would rather it be obviously the real thing. And I couldn't see myself using it every day, but on a light day or like a recovery day, it's a very nice thing to have.
Isn't it funny that some people consider their Peloton day to be like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I'm dreading it. And then for you, an elite athlete, that's what you might consider doing on a recovery day.
Not recovery day, but like Sundays, I try to keep it pretty light. So I'll either play tennis, but now the Peloton is a nice addition to that. You know, it's like you get. Also, it's easy to use. Like the interface is good. I totally understand why. I still think it's like a little bit much, but I do think that for some people, like spending money and like convenience really pushes them to get fit, and I don't suffer from that. I have other issues, like body dysmorphia.
People really love throwing money at whatever the problem is, you know.
But I think it does work. Like I think if especially during quarantine, if you have 5 months where you have more free time and you have this thing in your house, there's like no excuse, and you're like, I spent $2,000 and I waited. You know, it was a wait list. Like it'll probably work.
Yeah.
You know?
I just want there to be a Peloton for people like us.
What do you mean, real athletes?
Just cool, elite people who demand better aesthetics, better music, cooler looking instructors, better outfits.
I should try to get a fitness instructor on this podcast to explain to us why the music is so bad. Because part of me is
it's not hard to figure out why.
No, but I had a great SoulCycle teacher for years who played really, really good music, and it was like the only guy, this guy Parker, and he's the only person I've ever met, and he ended up becoming like a DJ because he had such good taste and like it actually worked out for him in some regard. But I feel like
I'm familiar with DJ Parker. Don't worry.
The customer doesn't want it to be cool, and I feel like maybe there's like a BPM issue. I think that part of it I'm not fully.
I don't think it has anything to do with them wanting to be cool or even knowing. It's just, you know, I'm sure there are some, you know, personal trainer, crazy fitness freaks out there who have really good taste in music, but you know, the majority of these people are dorks is the problem, and they don't have good taste in music. That's just what it is.
We got to get rid of all dorks. You know that's
no. We need the dorks.
For what?
Dorks make us look cooler by comparison and contrast, and dorks are what pays for all of this.
You're right. If we didn't have dorks, we wouldn't have Clubhouse. We wouldn't have Discord. We wouldn't have Failing Fits podcast. Like there's a lot of things we wouldn't have if dorks didn't exist.
You're goddamn right. Yeah, sorry, Clubhouse. We're gonna join and participate.
No, I'm just. I'll try anything. It's like, you know. I mean, it can't be any better or worse than Facebook. So I'll give it a shot.
It's gonna be better than Facebook.
I'm just kidding.
Travel question for you.
Hit me, baby.
I just got hit up with an email reminder letting me know that my TSA pre-check is going to expire. Do I even bother renewing it? What do you think?
Yeah, you have to. Don't be a loser. You have to. It's also like $50. You have to hope for a better future. Barack Obama voice. Shepherd Ferry poster voice.
I don't know. I really don't know the next time I'm going to use my TSA pre-check. I also, like, during times of COVID, does pre-check even exist anymore? Or does everybody have to go through all the same crazy procedures.
No, yeah, no, don't worry. As a pre-check Hive member, it does still work.
It does.
And I have flown.
It's still okay. Good.
Yes. No, don't worry. The airport and the airlines, no matter how much they're failing, they will still tier things out so that people can feel special for paying more money to skip lines.
Even in a life or death emergency, your status will play in.
Oh, Mr. Black, you're a super spreader? Well, you can still come into the lounge. You are a Platinum American Express holder, so please come with us. I would renew it. I just can't wait till we're back in the air. You know what I'm saying, Jason? Can you even imagine a future where you and I are hopping on the plane to go do a How Long Gone tour, but sponsored by who knows?
Sponsored by Telfar.
Sponsored by yes. Every look under your seats. There's a Telfar mini bag.
Z-Way is opening for us somehow.
Yeah, it's a How Long Gone tour. There's a giant list of important presenting sponsors. We'll do 2-hour meet and greets after with all our fans that pay extra, of course. We won't make eye contact. You won't be allowed to touch us. And we won't take the photo. Our security guard will. I mean, that is why, Jason, the hope of that future is why you must renew your...
Okay. I must renew, and you must stop spreading so superbly so we can get back onto that track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Jason. Well, when you were spreading at Erewhon yesterday, you weren't thinking about me. So something to consider. I think we will get on that track, and I don't see why we couldn't be doing at least arenas and then stadiums 2022. I don't see why. I mean, with the new album coming out, and just kind of like, where we're at right now, how much work we've put in, our relationships with Apple and Spotify, obviously, and all the digital streaming services. I don't see why we couldn't be selling, packages upwards of $1,000 to include the meet and greet and maybe some merch.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, it's kind of like how restaurants are selling gift cards right now.
Exactly.
People will want to give and spend their dollars with us, knowing that safely once things are back to normal, we will take their full money and not really provide them with much for it. Yes, exactly.
Well, because podcast is the opposite of that. We provide a lot and get very little in return. So the live event has to flip flop so that we can actually, eat and buy stuff.
Big ticket price, big letdown, evens out.
Yeah, exactly. We don't deliver, but we still want you to come.
Okay. All right, Chris. That's it.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, King.
Thank you. I was getting vintage How Long Gone vibes of talking about, like, when do you think this is all going to be over? When we first started the show.
The show hasn't lasted. It hasn't existed for very long, but it truly seems like an eternity.
For better or for worse. So yeah, it's only been around for, I guess, four months or so, quarter of a year.
We're coming up on an important milestone episode.
69?
69. Yeah, because it's going to go. It goes 50, 69, 100, 1,000. Those are the milestones that I reckon.
Yeah, I've noticed that people nowadays
420. Sorry.
Are way more interested in the 69th version of something versus the 100th. When did 69 become a more sought after milestone than 100?
When society got dumber.
Mm-hmm. But like, what was the year? Do you think was it? I'm thinking like 2014, 15, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. It's very much a symptom of the internet. So definitely, I would say that time range feels right to me. God damn it, Jason, we're fucked, man. Renew your TSA. Don't ever talk about the Sopranos, and go to Erewhon more often. Let me sum this show up for you. You could fast forward to this part and listen, and then that's it.
Yeah, I like it. It's very much just like, hey, the definition of a crazy person is someone who does the same thing over and over again and expects different results. I'm doing the exact opposite results of what I was doing. No more Sopranos. No more Erewhon abolishment. We're replacing everyone at Bon Appetit with whatever the opposite of all the white people that were there before. We're throwing everything out and starting anew.
History has progressed past the need for Bon Appetit. That's my take on that.
I agree.
And on that note,
Fuck Bon Appetit, dumbass.
Fuck
magazine.
Bon Appetit. None of my homies rock with Bon Appetit. I guess that's it. I'll talk to you later.
If you want to learn how to cook food, just send me a DM on Instagram with a picture of what your fucking onions look like, and I'll tell you what to make.
That's right. Jason's offering bespoke services.
This shit does cost though. Hit my Patreon.
Do not hit his Patreon. All right. Bye, guys.